Hey, it's Rick and Patty from the KORD Morning Show. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate it.
And, of course, you can always catch us anywhere and everywhere with our KORD mobile app. It's free for you in the App Store as well in Google Play.
6:09, you got Rick, you got Patty. Great to be with you. Happy Wednesday, middle of the week. Right now, sunshine, 50 degrees for you as we get the day started. There's Patty. Good morning, Patty.
Good morning, Rick. How are you?
Good. Ready to take on this day? Of course you are. Of course you are.
Yeah. What about you?
Kenny Chesney, how about that great flyaway? That's right, 8:20 this morning. Your first code coming down. I'm raring to go here.
I know.
A little smoky, a little hazy in the air. We had a couple fires yesterday. Had a big old brush fire there off I-82 near.
It's that season.
Yeah, it's that. Oh man, everything's so dry.
Very.
Everything's so dry.
Very.
And so again, I know Yakima had a big one. I know Spokane had a big one. We had a couple. Benton City had one, and then of course Finley had one. Oh my God, dude. It's going to be, it's just going to be that haze. If you're curious where the smoke's coming from, just be aware of that. The good news, not as warm as it normally is this time of year.
Yeah, no, it cooled down quite a bit.
It did, absolutely. Windy yesterday. That did not help our firefighters.
Not at all.
Shout out to our firefighters, the great work they do. And when it jumped to I-82, I was like, oh man, those apartments there near Badger and all that. And it's like, phew. Luckily, our guys were on the scene and took care of it. And again, big shout out to our firefighters and those. That's why you need them, man.
Exactly.
It's kind of interesting. You gripe about something until you need it.
Of course.
I mean, you gripe about it till it happens. So anyway, shout out to those folks, those first responders and the hard workers over there. All right, we're going to get the day started. We're going to work on some Facebook fun. We've got the Kenny Chesney Flyout like we talked about. Also some Nashville news, other people's problems. Let's get your day started. Grab a cup of coffee, dig in. Let's get going. It's 102.7 KORD.
Starting your day the right way with the KORD Morning Show. Number one for New Country. 102.7 KORD. Kenny Chesney's Sun Goes Down tour is rolling into a mystery location this summer.
When the sun goes down, yeah.
And you can be there. Listen for the Kenny Chesney contest codes at 820, 1020, 120, 420, and 720. And then enter them on our app. Grand prize winner gets concert tickets for them and a friend, airfare, hotel, and $500 cash. Get contest rules and more info on our app. Brought to you by Warner Nashville. Number one for New Country, 102.7 KORD.
Number one for New Country. It's 102.7 KORD. You got Rick, you got Patty. Good morning. Whole lot of sunshine for you as you kick off your day. 55 degrees. Going to be another nice day here in the Tri-Cities. All right, Facebook fun to get your day started.
Yes.
If your job went to a 4-day work week, what other day would you want to have off? I was thinking about this, and
it's got to be one of the consecutive days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To keep it going. I don't want to break it up.
So do you want a Friday? Basically, do you want a Friday or a Monday off?
Either or.
I know.
Probably the Monday.
I was thinking the Friday, but then I also thought the Monday was a good option too, as well. Because it was funny, I was talking to the hairdresser and I was getting my hair cut and we were talking about days off and she goes, oh, I have tomorrow off. This is my, people will say this is my Friday or, And I always ask them, are you getting consecutive days off? And they're like, oh yeah, it's getting consecutive. Because no one likes a day off and then you're back to work. No one likes it. And so whenever I'm out and someone says, oh, this is my Friday or my Monday.
Because you can't let loose.
You can't. Well, yeah, exactly. Who wants to, so you got to have it in consecutive.
I agree.
So going to the Facebook here, Alicia says Wednesday. Break it up. Interesting, Alicia. Jean says Friday. Friday or Monday, Tiffany says. Monday or Friday. Everybody's, Friday.
Oh, Alicia is the one. She says Wednesday. Break it up a bit.
Break it up. Elizabeth says Monday, Friday, Monday. Either Friday or Monday, Friday. I will tell you this. I've been getting out of here a little bit early, and I am still shocked. Like, you people don't have jobs? I mean, when I leave here...
Is it busy?
Oh, yeah. What is going on? Is it summertime? Is that really what's going on? Is it summertime and people are just on vacation? Because I am flabbergasted when I go get my hair cut. I go to Walmart, wherever I go.
People are out and about.
Oh.
I went to the dog park yesterday, and it was a ghost town.
Really?
Yeah,
well, that's the best time to go. Then.
Yeah.
So there was nobody out there.
There were some older guys, and they were like, well, I haven't seen you here.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I usually don't come here during the weekdays.
But what time did you go out there?
About 3 o'clock.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Well, wherever I've been this last week, I'm like, don't you people have jobs? And then my wife Megan goes, people are getting out of school. People are on vacation.
Yep,
I'm like,
they are.
Well, it's just because I'm one of those cranky old people like, I just want to get my stuff done. And then I'm stuck
Get out of my way.
Then I'm
Look at all this traffic.
then I'm stuck in a line somewhere. So there you go. If you could take a day off, a 4-day work week, what would it be? For me,
I'm going Monday.
Yeah, I think I'll go Friday. I think I'll go
Okay.
Friday. So Patty's going Monday. I'll go Friday. What do you guys think? More of your comments on the way. Rick and Patty, KORD.
Starting your day the right way with the Cord Morning Show, number 1 for New Country, 1027 KORD.
38, number 1 for New Country. It's 1027 KORD. You got Rick, you got Patty. Good morning. Sunshine for you right now, 55 degrees. And time for some Nashville news.
I've already decided I'm going to make it to Nashville, especially next year for CMA Fest. It attracted roughly 90,000 people to Music City each day of the event. The Country Music Association says that those numbers are quite similar to what was recorded the last 2 years. The 4-day event always attracts fans from all 50 states and 46 countries, featuring more than 300 performances at various venues all throughout the city. TMZ, I saw this yesterday, says that Billy Ray Cyrus has filed for divorce from singer Fire Rose after less than a year of marriage. Not quite sure what happened. The reason for their split, unknown. The couple got engaged in 2022, and then they married in October of 2023. Jelly Roll, celebrating his 5th consecutive number 1 single, Halfway to Hell, is number 1 this week. On the country radio charts, Jelly dropped the fan favorite track in January, and it is featured on his debut country record, Witsit Chapel. Meanwhile, Jelly says that he wants to collaborate with Garth Brooks. He says, I still want to record a song with Garth. I'm still campaigning, don't let my career end without me and Garth at least getting one in. And the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum showcasing one Luke Combs. It's the exhibit called The Man I Am, focusing on Luke Combs and his journey through country music. Special pieces on display include his shirt and hat from the Hurricane music video, and that exhibit opens July 11th and it runs through next summer. Those are your trending headlines.
The Cord Morning Show with Rick and Patty. Back with more next on number 1 for New Country, 1027 KORD.
Get ready, Tri-Cities. Pet Overpopulation Prevention's annual Pooch and Pal event is back and better than ever. Mark your calendars for June 15th at Columbia Point Park. Lace up your sneakers and leash up your furry friends for a fun-filled 5K walk or run. Early registration is happening now. Sign up today and snag yourself a cool t-shirt, swag bag, and exclusive access to the post-fun run party. But wait, there's more. Pop is also seeking vendors and sponsors to join in the excitement. Visit poptricities.org to register. That's POPP. Tricities.org. Sign up and get involved. Sun's out, tongue's out, folks. Let's make this year's Pooch and Pal the best one yet. See you there. Ranked number 1 for New Country. It's 1027 KORD. You got Rick, you got Patty. Good morning, 651. Sunshine for you, 55 degrees. Anywhere, everywhere on the KORD mobile app. If you got the KORD mobile app, if you don't have the KORD mobile app, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
You are missing out on, number 1, a lot of great free local content. Also, we got our great flyaway to see Kenny Chesney.
That's where you get entered.
We had Tim McGraw. We had the Cash Cow. There's so much things. And there's a $500 Visa gift card you can win up there right now. So there's a lot going on the mobile app. And the best part about the mobile app, it doesn't cost you anything. So the nice thing is what we do is we put up some free content for you, put up some free contests, and there's no paywall. So another great reason to download the KORD mobile app. And if you don't have it, you're definitely missing out. So yesterday I did this great article about living off the grid. My son, I just want to go live in the mountains. Okay.
Why not?
Well, that's what he
It
would
would
like.
be beautiful.
That's what he'd like to do. And guess what? You can do it in Washington, but there are some legalities that go with that. Your waste, your electric, all these different things. And so once I discussed it with my son, guess what he decided not to do? Well, I'm just going to live in my apartment. Because when you say living off the grid, the first thing I think is granola. I think you're not taking a bath.
I just think being out in the woods.
Out in the woods, right? Well, it's hard to sustain that. Believe me.
course.
People say,
Well, it's permanent camping.
Right.
Not even though.
Permanent,
you know what I mean?
You're absolutely correct. Permanent camping. And so people always say, I'm just going to go live up in the mountains. Just leave me alone, right? Well, you can't you can't survive.
It's tough.
It is.
It's tough
Yeah.
way. I'm sure.
So I discussed it in an article. You can check that out. And then, dun, 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 the most dangerous city in Washington State. That's the one you did yesterday.
I did do that. I just refreshed it.
Dun, 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 dun.
I've never been to the city. I've never been to the town. So I've driven past it,
All right, let me go
but I've
see.
never
Negative.
stayed there.
Now you're going to make me jump in there and see what the...
Just do a quick Google.
Oh, yeah.
It.
I've been there. Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. When I lived in Seattle, I know exactly where I know exactly where this town is. Absolutely. So
The crime rate is exceedingly high.
yeah, well, I know exactly where it's at.
Do you?
There's a reason why.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, there's the haves and the have-nots.
Well, but-
so this poor town is the have-nots. Yeah.
I'm totally switching gears. Another one that I did was in Oregon. They have these track trails. It's kind of neat. Their goal is to have 50 of these track trails, which are really educational about Oregon's amazing history.
Yeah, for the kids.
Yeah.
I saw,
Well, it's for everybody, actually.
It looks amazing. I did see that. So yeah, that's going to be awesome too. So if you're looking to, family-friendly trails to explore in Oregon, we got those posted for you. So a lot of great information. It's all free. Check it out now on the KORD mobile app. You'll be glad you did. You got Rick and Patty.
You're listening to Rick and Patty in the morning on number one for New Country, 1027 KORD.
Your number one for New Country. It's 1027 KORD. It's 710 with Rick and Patty. Saturday, July 13th, Pendleton Roundup Grounds. The party in Pendleton. It's the Whiskey Music Fest. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be one heck of a day.
I'm looking at this list.
I know.
You got Jody Messina, Thomas Rhett, Dustin Lynch, Thomas Mack, then Vanilla Ice, Tone Loc, and Sugar Hill Gang. Best day of summer. And Patty's going to her very first Pendleton Whiskey Music
I'm going to have to
Festival.
pace myself.
You're going to have to pace yourself. Absolutely. It's going to be a long day, and you're going to be out in the heat. Stay hydrated. And we'll have more of the passes on the way right there on the KORD mobile app. And as we get closer to the show, we'll give you a chance to win some more of those tickets on air as well. All right. Other people's problems got a situation. And Kim in Richland, she's got a good question this
She
morning.
does. Rick and Patty, I have 2 sons and a daughter, and they're not going to summer camp. So my home last summer quickly became the epicenter of the neighborhood for them and their friends. So what I've learned over last summer break is that they and their friends are going to eat me out of house and home. Food is expensive these days. I mentioned to one of my neighbors that I was thinking about asking the kids' parents for money since I'm feeding them. Well, my neighbor just laughed, told me I'm cheap. My mother says I have every right to ask for money. Would I be a bad neighbor if I did that? Is it wrong? Kim in Richland.
So, Patty, when Patty was a kid, all the neighborhood kids, your dad was the epicenter, and your house was the epicenter to the point to where you got jealous at times because
he's my dad, you know, and I didn't want to share him.
Exactly. So let's talk about the food situation.
Well,
did they eat food there? Did your parents pay for that?
Listen to this. Well, it was either Saturday or Sunday morning, sometimes both. We did. We had pancake breakfast. And all the kids came. Sometimes their parents came for breakfast.
Came.
So,
and you
but
paid
we didn't
for it.
ask for. We did not. Yeah, we did not ask for money or anything. But I mean, the kids were always over at our house. And,
Right.
You know, my mom never said anything. You know, but
Well, I think people love it. I think they do. When you're the epicenter of the neighborhood, it's fun. It really is.
but I
Yeah.
can see where it can be an issue, especially now. Have you gone grocery shopping lately? It's crazy.
Absolutely. Well, now Pearl, my beloved foster mom, raised me differently. You should always offer if that made sense. So I always noticed when someone would take me, if I went to Melanie Bott's house or something like that, she goes, "Oh, can I give you a couple dollars?" saying to her mom, to feed him or something. And then Melanie's mom would say, "Oh no, don't worry about
yeah.
it." So Pearl taught me always ask. With the insinuation that they're probably not going to ask for, but be prepared to pay if they say, yeah, a couple of bucks would be great. So it's one of those things where I think if the neighbors, know their kids are hanging out somewhere else's house,
But you might feel bad. You might want to pack your kid, or a snack to share with everybody.
I was taught that I'm going to give my kid a couple bucks. So if they take you somewhere, if they take you to pizza or whatever, I will tell you,
contribute.
I was very lucky when I was in junior high. I had a best buddy, and his parents were well off, right? And I was this is when I was adopted out. So this is not my foster parents, but I was adopted out, dirt poor. They would take me to Godfather's Pizza or different things like that.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that because that was my little escape from the home I was living in at the time.
Yeah.
And so I always appreciated that they would take me, and they stop by, take me to a movie, get pizza, and they knew it. They knew what it meant to me, if that made sense, as a poor kid, not having anything, not having any of that, So it's one of those things where I think that it's a good thing.
I know. I always hung out with, Kim Wagner was my bestie, and I always did everything with their family.
Yeah.
Like I went to go see Captain and Tennille at the Minnesota State Fair. Yeah, that was my first concert.
But they didn't ask for money, or
no,
not that you're aware.
They just no.
They just brought you along.
Yep.
Hey, ask Patty to come along, and like da-da-da-da. So if you weren't welcome, they wouldn't ask you, I'm sure. So yeah, I was taught that even always have a couple bucks in your pocket.
Sure.
And then my foster mom would always like, hey, you're taking him. Here's a couple bucks, and they'd say no, and then you're off the hook.
Well, I do think I don't think Kim is out of line to ask.
No, you know what? Be a good neighbor and offer up. I'm going to flip it.
Yeah.
Be a good neighbor and offer up.
Well, it sounds like she has.
Little Jimmy's going over. Here's a couple bucks just in case if you need to feed him. So what do you guys think? 547 KORD. App chat us. I know it's a different era today than it was when we grew up and you went to the neighborhood home, you know what I'm saying, house and all that. So what would you do today? We want to know. Share your comments and we'll get this conversation going. You got Rick and Patty. KORD.
We love to hear from you, and it's easier than ever to reach out. Just open up the Cord mobile app and send us an app chat message, or you can contact us the old-fashioned way at 509-547-KORD. Number one for New Country, 1027 KORD.
Eric Church, Drink in My Hand, number one for New Country. It's 1027 KORD. You got Ricky, got Patty. Good morning. 724. Kenny Chesney, our flyaway. That code's coming down this morning at 820.
Okay, I thought you were going to give it now. I was going to say, Rick,
no.
You better make them wait.
Too early now.
Oh, thank goodness.
I mean, I could go get it, but
hey,
I'm not
no.
Because right now I am more interested in the fact that Joey Chestnut has been banned from the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Now, if you don't know who Joey is, well
he's the winner of the contest
for the last 19 years. Like 17 of the last 19 years.
Why is he banned?
Because apparently he's got a plant-based sponsor that does hot dogs.
Yeah, he endorses another line.
Yes. And so now come on. We need this gig. Okay, so he was offered a 4-year, $1.2 million contract by Nathan's. That's the hot dog brand that,
Yeah.
Wow. Someone want to give me $1.2 million to eat hot dogs? To eat dog? So, and the company is Major League Eating. Okay, now I know MLB, NFL, wrestling, all that. Major League Eating. It's a league of major eaters. Wow. And this guy, what is it, like 76 hot dogs? He has the record.
Have you ever watched like the competitions?
I'm going to Ralph. I can't.
It's ridiculous.
I'm going to throw up. I mean, even like, after 1 or 2 or even 3 hot dogs, I'm good.
Well, you know how some restaurants have, I don't know, the big, huge steak, if you could finish it.
I've seen it. I physically couldn't do it. And when you're watching, so what's so crazy about the hot dog competition is he dips the buns in water. Mm-hmm. So right there, it's a no-go for me in terms of like, I'm going to eat soggy bread to get it down. I mean, again, I know he's won, and apparently, as you can see, big money. But I'd be like, I don't
know how many hot dogs I could eat in one sitting. I don't know.
Even as I look back as a kid, and maybe, let's say hypothetically 6. Let's just say, I think maybe 6 as a kid or a teenager, at your peak, when you're like, he's going to eat me out of house and home. Maybe 6 hot dogs, as a teenager, like a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old, maybe, because, when you're a teen and you're a boy, you eat a lot, but 6, I think 6 maybe, if I was lucky. I think there was one time years ago when McDonald's had the McDLT, which I love the McDLT.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, I ate 3 of them in a row. So
I guess you did like it.
I loved it. I ate 3 of them, and that's when I was like 18, 19 years old. I couldn't imagine now. I'd be like, okay.
A McDLT? Was it a patty? What?
It was, but it was one side was cold and one side was hot. It was that big styrofoam box that, of course, would kill the environment today. But you had one side was cold, one side was hot, and you'd put it together.
Why can't you just have the Big Mac? I mean, really, Rick? You have to need the McDLT.
The McDLT. Raise your hand if you remember the McDLT. I'm sure you do. So, and then, but then again, even 3 of those at one sitting. Three Big Macs at one setting. But 70-some. So anyway, they're still fighting it out. And who I didn't realize it was big money. So have some fun with you here. Do you know someone who got banned from an eating establishment? I'm sure at those back in the day when you had the Old Country Buffet, you cannot tell me that some families didn't get banned.
I know.
Like because you know,
My neighbor used to steal the cookies from the buffet.
Right,
I was
right.
like, where'd you get these cookies?
because
The OCB?
Yeah, because I'm sure Lulu and Junior came in there like, okay, you can't sit here all day and eat. All right, sorry, move along.
My first job, I worked at Rack's Roast Beef, and I was in charge of the salad bar. And on Tuesday nights, yes, I'm not joking, but yes, this family would come in
And load up
and load up at the salad bar, and I had to stay open. Yes,
Because it was unlimited trips, right? Was it unlimited trips? So they got to go
Yes.
back as much. Oh yeah,
Yes.
like, okay.
And they got salad dressing everywhere.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, got to move along. So we'll take some calls. 547-KORD. Did you get banned from an eating establishment? We'll take some calls. Have some fun with this. You got Rick and Patty.
You're waking up with the Cord Morning Show. Number 1 for New Country. 1027 KORD.
Currington, do I make you wanna? Number 1 for New Country. It's 1027 KORD at 7:39. Your morning commute. You got Rick, you got Patty. Whole lot of sunshine for you today. 55 degrees and light breeze for you right now. All right, Joey Chestnut, the guy that's world famous at the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Well, he's been banned because he's got a sponsor. He's got an endorsement.
You eat these hot dogs
Yeah.
and only these ones.
Nathan's cannot believe that he's eating plant-based hot dogs now, and they've been betrayed. And I will tell you, I love a good Nathan's hot dog. They're actually really good.
They're my favorite.
Before we get to the calls, 547 KORD,
Yes.
Do you prefer the beef hot dogs or the pork and chicken?
I'm not. No, I don't need to know that I'm eating a pork and chicken hot dog.
Right.
Because then it's not going to be well.
Yeah.
I will go out of my way for a beef hot dog.
Same here. To me, like preference, yeah, I can eat a pork and chicken one. I
I
can.
don't want to know that.
But it's almost slimier than the beef one for sure. So 547 KORD. We've been taking your calls. Do you know someone who got banned from eating at an eating establishment? And
The Chinese buffet.
I was thinking, man, it's too bad the Old Country Buffet closed down because I'd love to get some workers on the phone telling me some of those stories about people coming in and sitting, parking all day long. Like, did any family
Gotta get my money's worth.
Got to get my money's worth. Exactly. So, who got banned? What was the eating establishment? Tell us the story. What do you got?
They got banned from Wendy's because they kept saying their order was wrong every single time that they would come through.
Oh.
So now they are no longer allowed at Wendy's.
Yeah.
I was there when it happened. She comes in every single night at 5 o'clock. She goes to the drive-thru. At 5:10, she comes in and says her order is wrong.
Oh.
They said, we have your order on a receipt. We always read the order back to you. You always say it is correct. And then you come in and say it is wrong. You are not allowed back here at this Wendy's ever again.
Absolutely. I don't.
The customer's always right.
Oh
though.
yeah, but they keep going back in. It's like, man, if after a couple times, then just don't go. I mean, if I go to a fast food
And
place,
it's always wrong,
and it's always wrong,
then
I just never
don't
go
go
back.
back.
I don't go back to that one. Well, whatever franchise it is. I mean, exactly. But some people will keep going. Keep going and keep going and keep going, and maybe it's to get some freebies or something.
Maybe
Like
I don't know.
if I just
if it's wrong once, and then you just make a note of it.
Have you? Okay, now they don't work with us anymore, but we once had a coworker, and they don't work here. They don't even live in town anymore, so I can talk about this. Every day, no matter what they ordered from anywhere, it was always wrong.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm
Yeah.
talking about. And it was like, and I'm like, well, then stop going there or stop, But their whole life is
And they would go on social media,
Oh,
and
lamb-
I knew the dilemma.
Lambaste them all day long. But this person, I swear, never cooked a meal themselves. You know what I'm
No,
saying? Not
no.
once. It literally was, they'd come in at 10, they'd have Starbucks, gripe about Starbucks, they'd leave at noon.
Yeah, the Starbucks order was always wrong too.
Yeah, Starbucks order is always wrong. They'd leave, so they get here at 10, they'd leave at noon to go get lunch.
Go to lunch.
And be gone for an hour and a half, come back and gripe about the lunch they just had. You know what I'm saying? And then they turn around and gripe about their dinner that they got from DoorDash
Yeah.
or
Oh, yeah.
Uber
Yeah.
Eats or wherever they got,
And they
But I'm broke. I'm like, really?
I know.
Yeah, anyway, so 547 KORD. There you go. Who's been banned from an eating establishment?
And why?
And why? More of your calls on the way.
Starting your day the right way with the Cord Morning Show. Number 1 for New Country. 1027 KORD.
Last night, Lonely, 750, number one for New Country. It's 102.7 KORD. You got Rick, you got Patty. Father's Day is this Sunday.
Will you be having a cookout? Do you do anything special on Dad's Day?
They don't know. Nothing special happens on my day. If I get a text from my son for Father's Day, that'll be about what I get, So and I'm good with that. I don't need anything that special on Father's Day. But it did get me. I did read a recent article, and this got me thinking about your dad. Biggest pet peeve. What was your dad's biggest pet peeve that you can think of? I know what
he always just said children should be seen and not heard.
Okay.
He always just, because of course, there's always drama going on with us kids.
So as a dad, there are a couple pet peeves I have. It drives Megan nuts. For me, leaving the lights on is probably my,
I know.
Like if you're not in the room, turn the light off. And she goes, she's like, you just like to be in the dark. No, I don't like being in the dark, but if you're not in a room, why's the light on? So, and then I will say the thermostat, either too high or too low. Now, we have this wonderful system from A1. They do a great job. But man, when we can run our AC at 73 and it's an ice box.
Yeah, I know.
I
get it.
It's an ice box. So it needs to be 75. And I remember when my son moved in for a little bit.
Was it too warm for him?
He cranked it down to like 68.
Oh, no.
And I come home and I'm like, why is this down so low?
Why is it snowing in here?
And he's like, that's what his mom runs it at. I'm like, well, this is a great system. And it didn't
have to be that cold.
No. And he learned. It was funny when he came to me later. He's like, oh, Dad, I didn't realize. I'm like, yeah, this is a great system.
Yeah,
you can run it at 75 and you're going to be cold. Icebox. So there's a brand new Father's Day survey. Things that pet peeve dad: dirty dishes in the sink, doors being kept open. Oh, that's an odd one. Okay. Thermostat is number 3.
Of course it is.
Too high or too low. Number 2, the TV remote. Someone's stealing or changing the channel.
Yep.
And the number 1 pet peeve is leaving the lights on.
That's right. Shut them. Like
off.
you, if you're not in the room, why do you need the lights on?
Shut them down. So think about. So your dad did he ever talk about the thermostat? Ever talk about this?
It was always an issue, of course.
Okay, all right. So what's your biggest home life pet peeve? Take some calls. 547 KORD. What are your kids doing, dads, that are driving you nuts? We'll take some dad calls for once. And dad, call us. Let us know what's one of your pet peeves. I got to go with the thermostat lights for sure.
That's number 1.
Because it's like who's paying the electric bill?
Well, the same thing too, or like when kids are always not kids, but I did this all the time. Open up the refrigerator, right? And just stand there. Trying to find something to eat.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, exactly.
Nothing looks good.
Oh my!
What are you trying to refrigerate shut that refrigerator door?
All right, we're gonna take some calls. 547 KORD. You got Rick and Patty.
Starting your day the right way with the Cord Morning Show, number 1 for New Country, 102.7 KORD.
Get ready, Tri-Cities. Pet Overpopulation Prevention's annual Pooch and Pal event is back and better than ever. Mark your calendars for June 15th at Columbia Point Park. Lace up your sneakers and leash up your furry friends for a fun-filled 5K walk or run. Early registration is happening now. Sign up today and snag yourself a cool t-shirt, swag bag, and exclusive access to the post-fun run party. But wait, there's more. POP is also seeking vendors and sponsors to join in the excitement. Visit poptricities.org to register. That's POPP. TriCities.org. Sign up and get involved. Sun's out, tongue's out, folks. Let's make this year's Pooch and Pal the best one yet. See you there. Me, West Richland kids are getting out of school today, getting ready for the old summer break.
Last day of school.
I know. Kids are loving it. Kids are loving it. Oh, Kenny Chesney. Hang on a second.
You got the code?
Kenny Chesney.
What is that number? That magical combination?
Here you go. It's 448 right now. 448. 448. There you go. 448. Yep, 448. Input that into the KORD mobile app. Chance to see Kenny Chesney. Parts unknown. Again, it is 448. All right, Sunday is Father's Day. Been talking about the biggest home life pet peeves that dads have with their kids, and there's going to be some good ones. I'm pretty sure of it. 547 KORD. Tell us, Dad, what's the pet peeve?
Standing with the fridge open.
Standing
in front of with the fridge open.
Yeah.
Just standing there.
Yeah.
Every single time. I'm like, what are you looking for? Nothing's changing. It's still the same stuff that was in there 5 minutes ago. I mean, you're letting all the cool air out, spoiling food. It's just, yeah, it's like several. It seems minor, but, when they're all doing it, it's all day long. It's, Yeah, it's just a pet peeve.
Yeah, it's kind of like, keeping the door open in and out.
Trying to
you know what I'm saying?
refrigerate the whole house.
Absolutely. 547 KORD. Dad, pet peeves. Dad, what do you got for us?
Well, my son, this is going to sound kind of gross. He's 12 years old, and at school, the toilets are automatic. So when he goes to the bathroom at home, remember, he's 12. He doesn't flush the toilet.
No.
It drives me up a wall.
Oh, no.
And, of course, my daughter sometimes leaves the lights on in her room. But, I mean, I don't care about that much because I can always go there and turn them off. But, yeah, that's the one that drives me the nuts most. And he doesn't flush the toilet half the time.
Yeah, that's nasty.
I don't want to. I don't want to. My husband will say, I'm conserving water.
No.
Nobody wants to see that. You better take care of that.
I'm saying with you, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
We have a coworker that doesn't flush the toilet. And so when I go into the men's bathroom, I kick my foot and make sure because the lid is up, right? I'm like, I'm not taking a chance. So I kick the lid down and then I flush it to get a fresh bowl. Because I don't want to I've gone in way too many times into the men's bathroom and it's sitting there. And I'm like, really? I'm going to be looking at, I'm looking down like, no. No. So when I walk into the men's bathroom, I kick the seat down, get a fresh bowl, and you're good to go. You're right, Dad. Come on, that's gross.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, especially
But what a lazy kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
I'd be like, I'd march him back in.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, you're going to go back and flush that.
Figure out how this.
Yeah. Well, so we have an upstairs and downstairs bathroom. So it's like if I found that in, Kyron lives downstairs in the garage of my stepson. Okay, but even then, I'd probably say, hey, flush the toilet.
That's right.
Even though you get your own bath.
Figure it out, man.
Figure it out. Dad, pet peeves. More of your calls on the way. 547 KORD. You got Rick and Patty.
The Cord Morning Show with Rick and Patty. Back with more next on number one for New Country, 102.7 KORD.
Look, it's your place, 822, number one for New Country. It's 102.7 KORD. Kenny Chesney Flyaway. The code again is 448 right now. 448.
Got it.
On your KORD mobile app.
448.
That's right. We were just talking about the fact that West Richland kids are getting out of school. So I'm still seeing some kids leave school. It feels like kids are later this year getting out of school.
Yeah.
But again, this leads us to our situation going on as summer break gets started. Kim in Richland's got a good question. She does have a good question. What's going on with Kim?
Well, she really does. She goes, I've got 2 sons and a daughter, and they're not going to camp this summer. So my home last summer, well, it was the epicenter of the neighborhood for them and their friends. What I've learned over last summer is that they and their friends are going to eat me out of house and home. Food is expensive these days. I mentioned to one of my neighbors that I was thinking about asking the kids' parents for some money since I'm actually feeding them. My neighbor laughed, told me, you're cheap. My mother says I have every right to ask for money. Would I be a bad neighbor if I did? Kim in Richland.
All right, a lot of comments already. A ton of comments on Facebook. What do you guys think? Let us know. 547 KORD. App chat us. What are people saying on Facebook?
Carol says, have the other parents contribute to the snack wagon. I was always the stay-at-home mom. My kids and their friends were always here. The parents had no problem contributing to the cause. I miss those days with a house full of laughter and kids.
Molly says, just don't let them eat your food. Say, eat at home, or if you're hungry, go home and eat. I'm sure they have food at their houses. Or tell your kids only one snack for you and your friends, and that's for Molly.
Dewan says, how about you set some boundaries in your home first?
I like what Lexi says here. A Dollar Tree, Big Lots, they have quite a few choices for snacks, ingredients for simple recipes at lower prices. Popcorn made in a pot on the stove with a little bit of oil makes a big bowl for next to nothing. Something is better than nothing. And Lexi says, I wouldn't go into debt.
Maybe have the kids' parents send something over with their own snacks. Maybe a sack lunch. That's from Barbie.
Did you already do Jason here? Those kids only do it in the summer. I usually have 5 or 8 teenagers at my house almost daily. In my honest opinion, if they're going to hang out at your house, ask them to eat before they come over so you don't have to feed anybody if that's that big of a deal. I wouldn't go and ask the neighborhood parents for money, though, to feed their kids. That, to me, is a little outlandish. Just ask them to eat before they come over, and that's from Jason.
Valerie says, have them pack their own lunches. Christine, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are cheap. And I would rather have these kids at my house than someone else's. I know exactly where my kids are and what they're doing.
Ed says charging neighborhood kids' parents for meals is cheap and feeding the neighborhood kids is unnecessary. He goes, I set breakfast, lunch, and supper times in stone. You miss them, you don't eat. If the neighbor kids are there, you can choose to feed them or tell them to come back after the meal in question is done. That's pretty simple. That's from Ed.
Lisa says, years ago when our house was full of kids, we served snacks, whatever fit in our budget. Kids aren't picky. They just want to be together and we enjoyed having them. And when it was mealtime, they went home, unless we invited them to stay. We also planted a garden and let them eat what was ready. We always had a lot of fun with that.
A lot of good advice there. I like the one that said peanut PB&J sandwiches.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
I like that too. Popcorn is okay too.
Yeah, popcorn. That and hit up the dollar store. There was a couple good suggestions in there. Big Lots dollar store. I think that or set a designated area for the snacks. Hey kids, hey, I love having you guys over. Here's the designated area for the snacks, and do it that way. So Kim, you guys had some great advice this morning. Kim, hope that helps you out there. And again, it doesn't have to all be on your back. But I don't know if I'd go talk to my neighbor. I don't know if I'd ever
about that.
I don't know if I'd have the courage to do that. But I would go get some cheap snacks.
If it's an issue.
I like some of them said, well, hey, what? Sorry, it's time for dinner. You guys go back to your home.
Yep.
And I'm going to feed the kids, and then you can come back later. So good luck with that. Let us know how it turns out. It's 8:25. You got Rick and Patty, KORD.
You're listening to Rick and Patty in the morning on number 1 for New Country, 102.7 KORD.